In today's letter, we're going to discuss daddy issues, in inverted commas, that proverbial term that we all know, but what does it actually mean, and how does it impact your respect for men? And we understand that men need to earn respect through their actions and behaviors and being congruent with what they say and what they then do. But let's have a look and see what this means for you and how it may be impacting your relationships. Daddy issues can certainly affect how you would perceive and interact with men. And overcoming these, I believe, will certainly build positive connections with men. We often refer to this because it means unresolved emotions or conflicts stemming from relationships that you've had with your fathers or father figures. These can often manifest as trust issues, abandonment, or attachment issues, which will influence your interactions with men. So let's take a moment and self-reflect and consider the relationship that you've had with your father. If you were to close your eyes and take a deep breath and picture him there in front of you, what would you feel? What would your experience be? Intellectually, you may say, "Oh, everything's fine with my dad." But it's in that quiet space of getting into your heart and visualizing him there standing in front of you that your true experience and your true emotions of him come up, even if it's a slight hint of sadness or anger. Maybe there's tension in your stomach when you look into that vision with your eyes closed. These are all indications that there is still some work there to be done. Unhealthy relationship patterns can obviously develop from these issues with your father, and these would be seeking validation, fear of abandonment or mistrust, as said. So obviously recognizing these patterns is a real positive step in the right direction. When we look at the nature of social media at the moment, and we just look at how much young women and people in general, I guess, are looking for validation, one wonders how much of that was actually received as a young girl growing up from their fathers. I have 3 daughters, and what they often just ask of me every day is just for me to see them and for me to tell them that they are the beauty. In whatever mood or behavior they find themselves, if I can just spend those 5 minutes and notice them and witness them, it fills their cup. When you acknowledge that there is a healing opportunity here for you, it becomes such a personal and beautiful journey. Often reaching out and asking others to assist and perhaps seeking professional advice can be amazing. I always recommend trying to build 2 trust relationships with men. If you choose good quality, high value men, and just start to build a relationship with them based in friendship, equal exchange, giving and receiving of love, expressing needs, it will start to help your brain recognize and see that men can be trusted once again. This will develop a mutual respect that obviously is the foundation for any healthy connection. And in that communication, often fathers did not communicate well with you. You did not understand them. They were perhaps even there, but you never felt their actual presence. They were distant, aloof, avoiding issues. Conflict was just swept under the carpet. Nothing was resolved. Everyone living on their own islands. Perhaps relationships were not prioritized, but rather being an individual. Perhaps performance was highlighted, and them, your father, wanting you to achieve rather than just seeing you for who you were. So if the relationship between your father and yourself was not prioritized to find a place of harmony and connection, this is often where these issues can stem from. Practicing empathy and compassion for yourself is obviously the first place for all of us. And we all have our own insecurities and fears. us men too, of course, in very many ways. So let's support each other along this journey to finding out what these issues are all about. Remember that change takes time, and it's okay to seek out the support and find the time to do this visualization I've given you here today. Remember ultimately that effective communication and healthy boundaries will help you with a more fulfilling and deeper and more respectful relationship with men. It'll bring in that harmony and that balance that would be required. I wish you well on your journey, and I hope that you make peace with your father and allow him a place in your heart to have existed as your father, the one and only man who gave you life. Notice your story about your father. That's often what takes you off and away from your heart, is your expectation. Try and uncover what those are about your father, how he should have been, what he should have done. And you'll realize where perhaps you've created that distance to in those conditions. Meaning, I can only love you once you do A, B, and C. Try and find that place in your heart where your father is worthy of your love and your acceptance, where you can allow him to have been the personality that he was, to free you from what was not there, to allow you to find a place in your heart for him as your father. And if you can take that life that he has given you in this way and leave the rest with him, I'm not asking you to condone the bad behavior, the abuse possibly, but if you can take the life and run with that, you will see that things will start to improve in your relationships with men. It's been my experience that often women, when there are daddy issues, will attract softer, more weaker, emotionally unavailable men, or they go the other extreme and they will attract men who are very hard and perhaps abusive, controlling. So notice your current state of your relationship. It might be a guide into more of your experience with your father. Thank you for your time, and I wish you peace.